So if you sit comfortably for a second, don't worry too much about the formal posture for a moment. Just let your shoulders rise towards your ears. And then let them slowly settle, maybe even slightly back and down. And just do that a couple of times, let the shoulders lift. You can squeeze a little if you want, or you can keep it quite gentle. And let them go again. And then just a gentle circling up, lightly back and down, into line and up, back and down. And then with the hands on the thighs, just let one shoulder come forwards and the other shoulder come back. The hands can slip along the thighs, one to the hip, one to the knee. The torso stays facing forwards, as does the head. There's a slight turn. And then just change sides. The other hand can come to the other knee, the other hand can come back to the hip. So you get a kind of gliding along your own legs with the hands, and the shoulders and chest will turn. Face and kind of body are in opposition gently. Just a few times backwards and forwards, just letting go. You can sigh through it. Just lightly loosening. And then let that settle. A little, very gentle nod of the head. You feel a kind of high axis point. You imagine the kind of movement coming from the hinge of the jaw area, bottom of the ear kind of area. Might even be a slight lift to the head away from the torso. And then a gentle turn from side to side. Keep it easy. Nice relaxed jaw. If you've got the eyes open, nice and soft. And when you've turned the head a few times, just tilt one ear gently to one shoulder. Go very easy. Keep the shoulders themselves relaxed and settling. And then to centre and to the other side. Just gently opening the side of the neck. Don't strain. You might want to drop the chin a touch so the head's at a slight diagonal. Jaw relaxed. Good. And then back to centre. So settle yourself in your position you'd like to sit in for the next however many minutes. You can feel your sit bones. If you're on a chair, you can feel your feet on the floor and your sit bones. If you're sitting on a cushion on the ground, you perhaps feel your sit bones on the sides and edges of the legs, however you've arranged them. And it wants to be for you a sustainable position. So if you need a bit of padding for your knees or you need a higher cushion, then now's the time to adjust. And if you can find that felt sense of sitting, the sit bones and the weight of the body settling, just invite that down a little more perhaps. The place of contact with the surface you're on. It's almost as if everything below the navel can settle and relax. There's a kind of gravitating, grounding quality. You don't have to push anything, just let go. There might even be a sigh and that kind of settling. And then if you can find a gentle kind of quality of openness to the body, that ascension or that soft lift, without losing the grounded, settling quality of the pelvis, the sit bones, the legs, feet. It's not braced open, Sergeant Major style, but it's nicely unfolding through the front line of the spine, up behind the heart, up through the throat. And you'll probably find that your shoulders are already settling. Can you allow a little bit of sense of the shoulder blades dropping down and the back of the arms from the shoulders to the elbow heavy? The hands resting wherever you place them, on the thighs or in your lap. And then kind of buoyancy, kind of freedom in the throat that allows a buoyancy or a lightness to the way the head's positioned. Might be a touch of rumour of length in the back of the neck and a bit of easing into the base of the skull and the underside of the jaw. And the throat can quieten. But just check in with those points, the settling down, the soft ascension, the relaxed shoulders and arms, buoyancy or ease with which the head's placed. And then can you relax the jaw a little? Perhaps feel the space in the mouth. And soften around the kind of temples, eyes, forehead. Let there be a kind of softness or ease, even a gentle compassion behind the eyes, whether they're open or closed. And there might be a quality of stillness, but let it just be a lightness of touch rather than a rigidity. And in the stillness you can relax. Let go any unnecessary effort. And can you feel the kind of natural immediacy of being there, your kind of own presence, if you like? Body's very much alive. It's highly likely your mind's awake. And life's happening. We don't have to shut anything off or hide away. There's experience, there's sensory impressions, there's things flowing through our awareness. So you can be alive to that, to being. And one of those sensations, one of those feelings we might have, one of those sensory impressions, if we were to put words to, we'd call breathing. So can you feel into the rhythm and movement of the breath? Again, with a kind of curiosity or lightness of touch. A kind of natural expansion and sensations as they play that happens with the in-breath. And the natural kind of relaxation that expresses itself through the exhalation. So there's a very subtle distension and play, opening as we breathe in. And there's a natural drawing back towards the midline. And again, you don't have to do anything. The body's quite capable of playing for itself. you've got a kind of pulse, albeit it might be subtle, or kind of rhythm that's happening as you breathe in and you breathe out. And there's no great magic to that, there's no great trick or science or skill. You're just aware of the movement of breath as it gently plays on or in that still body. And you might want to feel the momentary point, a kind of still point, a kind of momentary hiatus between the breaths, the end of the out-breath, for example, or at the crest of the in-breath before the exhale comes. And then at the end of the out-breath, before the in-breath arises again. And that's the one we want to give a little bit more weight to, a little bit more emphasis to, the end of the out-breath. So can you really let your attention settle into these three qualities? The natural, gentle distension or expansion that happens when breathing in. And that natural relaxation of breathing out. And then the natural stilling and stopping. Stopping is not the right word, but quietening between the breaths. And if we can give particular attention to that momentary stillness after the out-breath, however brief that might be, every time it comes around. And you may find the more you relax and feel and relax, there's a kind of energetic stopping. And can you have the gentle intention, gentle resolution, that at that moment of pause, the end of the out-breath, you can let everything come to rest, deep down in the pit of the abdomen, on the end of the out-breath. So you can let the belly be really soft and let your attention drop deep down into the lower abdomen. And you can feel the texture of sensation low at the end of the out-breath. There might be a particular felt experience there, kind of feeling tone if you like. I always think of it as dark and deep, like a cavern underground. But for you it might be quality of emptiness or fullness. It might have a light or shady quality. You don't have to label it really. Just notice whatever texture or feeling tone is present there. And allow the quietude and the stopness at the end of the out-breath deep in the body. You can almost relax into it, disappearing completely in that moment of stillness. It's a kind of deep Can you keep with that, allowing the natural rhythm of breathing and directing your attention particularly down into the lower belly, down into the empty space between the breaths. And settle into the stilling of thought in that moment, into the depths of your awareness. Down into that low space, empty space if you like, which contains sensation, perhaps even thought, but yet remains untouched, unstirred by them. Down, 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 down with each out-breath to that momentary stillness. Letting go. In a moment or two you'll hear the tings or the bell. Can you let your awareness travel out with the sound, as if your awareness comes up and ripples out? And if you'd allowed your eyes to close during that practice, just keep a low gaze and allow them to gently open. Allow yourself to take on shape and form and light without jumping onto anything in particular. Maybe there's ambient noise around you. Kind of soundscape. And there's the felt experience of the body sitting. You may find you gradually need to stir or sigh or yawn or stretch. You can slowly bring yourself into your day. Whatever the rest of the day holds for you, you can always touch in with a kind of felt experience of stillness.